fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress. This is one of my works in progress that I'm going to be working on today. You are encouraged to go grab something that you're working on and work alongside while I chat. Or alternatively, you can treat this like a podcast and do whatever you want while you listen. I'm going to be working on my Diamond Art Club Dreamcatcher. So if you haven't seen the unboxing, I will stick a link up there so you can check it out. I opened this one and decided that I would start working on it because it has a lot of dark colors, as does my Vibrant Italy that I'm currently still working on. And I'm hoping that I will have enough leftovers from both this one and the other one that maybe I will have some spare drills that I can put towards one of my Heaven and Earth designs. So I have 3 Heaven and Earth design canvases. I have ordered the drills for one of them. The second one I'm going to be kitting up for my spares. And the third one, I haven't decided yet. I kind of want to also kit it up for my spares because that's the whole point, but I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to sit down, get zoomed in so you guys can see what I'm doing and get to work. So let me zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. And yeah, I'm just going to dive in. Oh, I have lots of thoughts today, guys. Where do I want to start? I guess I'll start with a confession. I've been really, really good and had not bought any diamond paintings for a while. Had being the operative word because I finally broke. Which one was it? Oh, Diamond Art Club. Okay. Most of the new releases I have not been too bothered about. I really wanted to like one of the Scooby-Doo ones, but I just didn't like any of them enough to buy it. The one with just Scooby-Doo, too much background. I don't like color blocking that much. Although it would be a challenge, but just wasn't an image I liked enough to challenge myself that way. The other one I liked, but too much yellow in the background, and frankly, Daphne would have been the reason that I bought it, and she's making a weird face, so yeah. And the other ones, while there have been some that I liked, I thought the butterfly dragon one was really cool. There have been some of the kind of monochromatic ones that I liked, just not enough to buy them. And so then I broke when they listed all of their Dean Russos. Not because I'm particularly a fan of Dean Russo, but I just couldn't pass up that wolf. I've been looking for something really colorful to do. I thought I had found an Oraloa that I could do, but every time I check it, it's out of stock. So when I saw that one, I was like, oh, I should get that one. And I mean, it was $35, $38. You can't beat that price for a Diamond Art Club. So I thought, okay, I'll just get that one. Well, of course, while I'm in here, what else is in here in my wish list and whatever that I want to get to make it worth my while? And I ended up buying Spirit of Flight because even though I don't necessarily like how Diamond Art Club renders Josephine Wall's stuff, I haven't actually done one. So, and I do like the Spirit of Flight image, so I thought, okay, I'll get it so I can say I've tried it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm still going to like my Diamond Painting Deutschland better, but at least this way I can say I've tried it. Come on, pick up. Oh my goodness, these drills are being annoying today. So I got the Dean Russo wolf. I got Spirit of Flight. I got, I think it's called Rain. It's that one that it was a new release a while ago, and like they discounted it as soon as like the day it released. And I always feel bad for the artists when that happens because I think that makes them feel like people don't like their artwork. And that didn't have anything to do with it. I personally, I mean, I liked the image. I just, at that point, had other things I wanted to spend my money on. So I got that one. And then I got Queen Zara, which is a really pretty pastel color elephant that had been on my wish list for a while. So I got all of those. And I was like, okay, so I'm good. I got those. And I mean, I spent less on those 4 kits than I probably spent just buying 2 previously. Of course, none are new releases and they were all on sale. And then, oh, you guys. Then I hadn't even really been paying any attention to Diamond Art Club's new releases. I think I checked them on like Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and I hadn't really paid any attention other than that. Hadn't seen anything that I was interested in, and so I just figured, no, I already bought the Russo and the other ones. I'm good. And then I just happened to be on my computer doing some household paperwork when the email came in, and so I just clicked on over because I thought, I'll just what's on sale. So I click in the email, and the first image I see is the Phoenix, and I was like, sold. Didn't even look at the rendering, didn't look at the size, didn't look to see whether it was square or round. Just was like, oh, this is gorgeous. So I call my husband in the room, and I'm like, man, I really like this one, but I don't want to get it. I just bought those other 4. If I only buy this one, I'm not going to qualify for free shipping. So then I feel like I have to buy something else, but this one is really cool. I'm afraid it's going to get sold out. And he just looks at me and he goes, you don't have enough points to get free shipping? And I was like, well, I don't know. I don't even know if they do that. And he's like, well, go look. So I go look, and sure enough, I can redeem points to get free shipping. Now, because I was hoping this would work for other people, but of course it doesn't. You can redeem points for free shipping, or at least I was able to. However, it does say that it only applies if the shipping cost is going to be under $10. Well, I was only buying 1 kit, and so because I'm also in the US, I assumed it would be under $10, and I was right, it was, so I was able to use it. So I basically just had to pay for the kit and the sales tax, and I got the shipping for free. But then I got to laughing because after I bought it, you get your little emails that say that your order is confirmed and, how many points you earned. And then I get one that says, okay, thanks for redeeming, because I redeemed the points for free shipping before I placed the order. And I think it was 800 points. So I was like, okay, that still leaves me plenty of points at some point if I want to go back and do something else with them. But I mean, they're just sitting there, right? Again, I'm one of those people that I probably would just let them sit there forever because I forget about them, or I think, oh, I need to wait and save them when I really, really, really want something and I don't have a lot of money, except that never seems to happen. So I end up just sitting on the points all the time. Anyway, I used them. Got the thing. Thank you for redeeming your points. I got my free shipping. I ordered it. And then I get an email that says, thanks for ordering. Because of the amount I spent, I earned $825 in point, or 825 points. So I was like, okay, so I redeemed 800 to get my free shipping, and then I earned 825. So I still came out 25 points to the good. So, it worked out. I still feel kind of bad that I ordered another kit, but my husband keeps trying to tell me, approach this as a business. And I'm like, but it's not really a business. It's just a hobby. And I do this because I love it. And he's like, I know, but you really need to try and approach it as a business and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So that brings me to my next topic, because if you live in the US, as you're all aware, and maybe other people in other countries are doing this right now too, but at least for us here in the US, it's tax season. Taxes have to be filed by usually April 15th. It's the 18th this year, I believe, because why is it the 18th? Oh, wait, it's because of Easter? Is that Easter weekend? I don't know. Anyway, everything on my little paperwork says by the 18th instead of the 15th. Usually that's because the 15th falls on a Saturday or Sunday. But that would make it, if it was a Saturday, that would make it the 17th would be a Monday. So weirdness. Anyway, so the 15th must be Good Friday. Maybe that's why. Because they're closed. Government offices are closed on the 15th. So the next one will be the 18th. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, the upshot is my sister helps me with my taxes every year because she has an MBA and I hate numbers. I also hate taxes. So she does them for me. And, we just use TurboTax and she kind of, walks me through everything and whatnot. And so we have two kids. It won't let me take my oldest as a dependent anymore. And we couldn't figure out why. And apparently, unbeknownst to me, because I've never looked it up, because why would I? You can only claim your children over 18, over 19, if they're a student. If they're over 24, I can't claim them at all. Even if she lived with me the entire year and we supported her, which we did, I still don't get to claim her. She gets to claim herself as a dependent, which on the one hand is fine. She works full time. She has an apartment. She takes care of herself, or at least is learning how to do that. And so that part of it, I don't mind. And she's going to get a nice enough refund that she will have some breathing room. One of the things we were worried about for her moving out, because she works in education, she doesn't get paid during the summer. Now, teachers have the option almost always to have their paychecks split over 12 months so that even though you're not working in the summer, you still get a paycheck for those 3 months. You get paid the same amount of money. It's just a matter of whether or not they split it into 10 checks or 12, or 9 checks or 12, depending on the district. However, because she's not a teacher and she's not part of the certified staff because she's considered classified staff, she doesn't have the option to do that. So she does not get a paycheck in the summer. And so we were initially going, okay, well, she needs to save up some money because, of course, she's still going to have rent and expenses and everything during the summer. She still has to live, even though she's not actually getting a paycheck. And, would be fine, except that she's not really great about saving money. I'm hoping that's one of the things that she kind of learns and takes to heart now that she's on her own. Because, she didn't have to before. We kind of took care of everything, so she didn't have to worry about it. So anyway, for that reason, it's fine. However, for us, we kind of got screwed a little bit because we didn't realize we were going to lose her as a dependent, and so we didn't adjust any of our withholding, which from my job, because I only work part-time, is not that big of a deal. But had we known, we could have adjusted my husband's withholding, because federally we were fine. It's the state that we live in that is the issue. Now, even losing her as a dependent, it's okay. We're still getting a refund. We get a refund from federal. We owe the state quite a sizable chunk, but it's still less than we're getting back from federal. So in that respect, it's okay. Annoying, but okay. So we definitely need to adjust my husband's withholding to accommodate for that next year. But it's one of those things where, it's just annoying. So, yeah. And I always prefer the state where I live to pay taxes rather than get a refund from them, from the state, because, yeah, because our state rules are stupid. And so, anyway, so part of the upshot of that is, while I have been keeping track of my expenses and everything, like I did a video kind of outlining my budget and all the things that I spent money on last year, I hadn't really, what's the word I'm looking for? I hadn't really, not officially, but I hadn't really, I don't want to say officially because I was tracking my expenses, but I just wasn't being as detailed about tracking them, I guess, as I should have been. So we're in the process now of going back and looking at, kind of what my business expenses were, to see if those expenses is going to end up maybe offsetting some of the state taxes that we owe, because I started this business and, I'm going to be operating at a loss. Almost all businesses operate at a loss for the first couple of years, unless they're really, really lucky. So I'm hoping maybe some of that loss and the ridiculous amount of money that I spent on things last year will offset some of that. I still don't know. We're still running some numbers, but we'll see. So that was fun and frustrating, and I'm still not done with that. But we still have a couple of weeks to get everything figured out because it's not April 18th yet, so it's all good. I would love for it to make a difference because it's always something, isn't it? So this month, my husband and I got slammed with our house insurance premium because we don't escrow ours as part of our mortgage. We just pay it ourselves. So we pay it once a year. And it went up a ridiculous amount. And so we got slammed with that. And then a week after that, we got slammed with our car insurance, which is, while still a ridiculous amount that we pay for the coverage we get. I mean, we have good credit. We don't have any accidents on our record, knock on wood. We're pretty low risk as far as that is concerned, and we still pay a ridiculous amount for car insurance. So we got slammed with that. And then we get this tax bill, which, again, we're still coming out ahead at the end of it, but would have been nice to kind of, add some of that back into the money we just outlaid for insurance. And then on top of that, my poor husband, who, had surgery earlier this year, or I guess late last year. He's got a healing hairline fracture in his foot from when he fell. A couple of weeks ago, he did something to his arm, and we don't know what. He just, we're old, so you just move wrong and something breaks. And he's been fighting with his arm, so he went in, they did x-rays. The x-rays showed nothing. They sent him for an MRI, and it looks like he may have a torn rotator cuff, which means he's probably going to need surgery, which means he's going to be off work for probably a couple of weeks. And so we don't know what that's going to look like, because while my husband has a good job and we have good insurance benefits, the insurance benefits are not through his employer. However, because he's a contractor rather than working for like our local utility, he doesn't get benefits like paid time off. He gets no vacation, no sick leave, that kind of thing. So if he doesn't work, he just doesn't get paid. Now, we do have a short-term disability plan that we pay for, but I don't know if he's going to be off long enough for that to kick in. Sometimes, even when it's short term, it is still, it may be longer than he's going to need to be off. So, no guarantee that we're going to get our money's worth out of that insurance either. So, yeah, it's been a little crazy at my house. So, I told my husband we really need to look at trying to figure out what to do because while he loves his job, it's, he's got over 30 years doing it and it takes a toll on your body. And, he works 10-hour days. I would love for him to have a job where it was more 8 to 5 so that he didn't have to leave while it was still dark. He didn't have to come home after it was dark. We had time to, do some things as a family. Because a lot of times he comes home, we eat dinner, we watch, something maybe for an hour, and then it's time for him to go to bed because he has to get up so early. So it's just kind of crazy sometimes how things go. So there's all of that. I'm still working on my knee issues. I'm currently debating whether or not I want to call my PT, which is what I think I'm going to do, and see if I can just come in and see him for a couple of visits and have him give me some exercises. Now we know that it's bursitis and not, ACL, MCL, meniscus issue. Because I think some of mine is just that, I've gone almost a year kind of limping around on it, and my tendons and things have tightened up to the point where I can't really walk normally. So I'm still having some pain, and I can't tell if that's because there's still something wrong or if that's, like I said, just the tendons and things have tightened up. So I'm hoping if I can get some sessions in with the PT, maybe that'll take care of things. I have been going for walks with my son again, but we can't walk as far as I would like to because I just get to a point where my knee is aching. And so I would just like to really get back to where I was when this all started almost a year ago. So that's on my agenda to take care of. And then, let's see. Oh, and then last weekend, I still have some more to do, and we're still waiting on some paperwork. But my husband and I spent a couple of hours actually working on all of our paperwork for our move to Canada and trying to get it all done. So the bulk of it is done. We've both been married previously, so we both have to get certificates showing when those marriages were ended. I have to, it's kind of crazy. We got married here in the States, and his family was not able to attend because it was just too far, and a lot of them were not either in good enough health or they just couldn't financially afford to travel here for the wedding. We did live stream it so they could all watch, but they weren't all physically present. And because they weren't physically present, I have to provide pictures of the wedding. There's a certain number of pictures I have to provide and a bunch of other questions we have to answer, which is kind of crazy. And I've got to make photocopies of a bunch of other things, birth certificates and passports and all that good kind of stuff. And there's a couple of forms we have to fill out that I have questions about, and I'm not sure where to go to get these questions answered. On the website where you get all the forms, there is a guide to filling all of these forms out. They tell you how to fill them out and what you have to do and all of that stuff. But Mine is further complicated by the fact that even though my oldest is not going with us, I still have to fill out paperwork for her. I guess because they assume at some point either you're going to want that person to come up there with you or they're going to change their minds or whatever. So they do all their kind of background checking and stuff beforehand. Or, maybe it's more cynical than that. Maybe they want to check everybody out, make sure you're not hiding, a criminal that's in your family or something. I don't know. I'm choosing to look at it as they just want to check her out in case she just changes her mind and wants to come later. Anyway, because both my kids are over 18, there's a couple of forms that they have to fill out themselves. But the forms are really made for the person applying, which is me. I'm considered the principal applicant. And then my son is my dependent. But then there are some forms that he has to fill out because even though he's a dependent, he's over 18. But then there's really no place like where I would put his name. It says principal applicant, but he's not the principal applicant. So I don't know if I'm supposed to put his name there. And then it just gets kind of wonky on a couple of other ones. It's like, ugh. So, but we did spend a good couple of hours and made it through a good chunk of it. So I'm happy with that. I still want to get it finished and get them done. But right now we're waiting on, like I said, paperwork from the state where I live, waiting on paperwork from the province where he's from. So we can't really finalize anything until we get those. But I still have other things I could be doing. So there's still some paperwork that I'm going to be doing, getting copies of things and things like that, and getting that all together so I can get it ready to send this big packet of stuff when we finally have all the pieces together. So there's that. And work has been good. Actually, I think work has been really good. Earlier this week, I missed one of my work days because we were having some weather here and I just ended up with a horrible migraine. So I missed one of the days of work because of that. But it's been really good. The people who are going to be taking over my job have, I've been training them. They basically planned the lesson plans for April. And so it just kind of took a lot of the weight off of my shoulders to get all of that done. I mean, I still have to kind of collate everything that they did and put it in the format that it needs to be and distribute it to everybody and all of that. But the actual work of putting the lesson plans together, I didn't have to do, which was amazing. So there's that. And then, where's B? There it is. We just have basically 3 weeks left of school to plan. And the 2 weeks that are left, we've done before, so they can just kind of, for a lot of it, copy what's been done already. So that makes it easy. And then the last week is just basically our 2 days of picnics where we take the kids to the local park and play on the playground and stuff and have an outdoor picnic with some outdoor activities for our last days of school. And then that will be it. And I did talk with my boss, and even though I'm not going to be the curriculum director next year and doing all of the lesson plans and everything, we probably will still be here. Once we turn in our paperwork for Canada, at that point, it's all on the government. So we just have to wait for them to process everything. And we have no idea how long it's going to take. We've seen everything from, people who got approved in just a couple of months to people who've waited over a year. Now, every situation is different. I'm hoping ours will go more quickly than not because, America and Canada are right next to each other. They have all kinds of treaties. My husband and I have been married for almost 10 years at this point. So it's not like we're from a questionable country. I'll just leave it at that. It's not, we're clearly not getting married just so I can get into Canada, because we've been married for 10 years already. So I think a lot of the process will go faster because of that. But, who knows? Everything is kind of weird still because of COVID, and, different countries are doing different things, and they won't even, when you look on the website, there's a place on the website that says, estimated time frame for them to even process your paperwork, but they won't even give you a time frame on processing it, much less, whether or not you get approved and all of that kind of stuff. So that part is kind of scary. But, it's the government. What can you do? All you can do is fill out the paperwork and then just wait for them to do their thing and see what happens. So, but I do feel better that we got a big chunk of the paperwork finished. So now, we can kind of sit down and go back and go, okay, wait a minute, we need to do this again, or wait, what does this mean? And my husband has a friend who just recently went through this process. He got married to a lady from the Philippines, and they just went through this process to get her there. So theirs is a little bit different in that they had just gotten married. And I told my husband, I don't know why. It probably would have been easier if he'd married her in Canada, because then she would have already been in Canada, and applying for all that kind of stuff from within the country is almost always easier than applying from outside. Easier and faster. But for whatever reason, they didn't do that. So he's had to fill out all this paperwork. And so my husband was able to call him and ask some questions and, what did you do here? And we still have some questions that he's not going to be able to answer because they don't have any dependents. So it was just her moving. And so it's a little bit different since my son is coming with us. But anyway, so I feel like I made some progress on stuff, so that's good. I'm still working on my Vibrant Italy. Making progress. I think I'm on track to finish it by the end of March. So that's good. Ugh, and I missed an L. Anyway, I think I'm on track to finish that by the end of March. So that's good. That still leaves me my Dreamer designs that I opened and then kind of put on pause while I was working on the Vibrant Italy, because I wanted to do that for the Chuck-along. So I will be picking that one back up once I finish the Vibrant Italy. And then maybe by then it'll be, almost summer, and I'll have more time to spend just diamond painting. Because I can get quite a bit done if I just sit, I'll turn on YouTube or something, and, I'll watch some WIP and chats, or I'll watch my D&D shows, or I'll turn on my dead people shows, as my husband calls them, my case files, my cold case, my forensics shows that I watch. I watch a lot of true crime stuff, so I'll put on that. I found some new podcasts that are true crime podcasts. One of them it's a guy from Australia that does it, so I get to listen to his Australian accent while he talks about everything. It's amazing. And there's a whole bunch of episodes. So I always love finding something like that when there's a whole bunch of episodes, because then there's a lot of kind of back catalog that I can listen to. So that's always exciting. Okay, that is the wrong symbol. Where is that symbol? That's this one? No, that's not that symbol. It's this one. Okay, I've got 3 different triangles, and they're all different colors and or orientation. So I'm just trying to make sure I've got the right one. My husband was asking me about that because Vibrant Italy right now is set up on our dining room table. And so I'll diamond paint at the table while he watches TV or something. And so he'll come over every once in a while when he gets up for some chips or something. And he'll come over and ask me. And I've reached the halfway point with Vibrant Italy, so I have flipped it around so I can reach the top half of the canvas easier. And so he was asking me, is it more difficult to do it upside down because of the symbols and everything? And I'm like, well, it is a little bit more difficult. It's not impossible. Vibrant Italy has a lot less confetti, so than some other paintings that I've done. Like when I did Diana, I mean, she was big enough I kind of had to work from all angles on her. Very confetti heavy and lots of different symbols because there were so many colors, 250 symbols. And so, in that respect, I would say Diana was a lot more difficult than Vibrant Italy, but it does take some getting used to and kind of figuring out how you're going to do all that and that sort of thing. So, it's not impossible to work on things upside down, but you definitely do have to be more careful. And I know some people don't even want to try it. I don't mind. I would rather have, the section that I'm working on close to my face so that I can see what I'm doing. So if I have to rotate my canvas or whatever, that's not a big deal to me. I would rather have it closer to me and have it be, oriented weirdly than have it so far away from me that I can't really see what I'm doing. So yeah. Okay, I have one more thing to talk about. Let me see how I've been talking. Okay, so, oops, one got stuck in there. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about was my random acts of kindness, you guys. If you don't know, my random acts of kindness, check out the description box below. I have a Google form that you can fill out, and I will send you a random act of kindness that has some stuff that is diamond painting related. Could be stickers for your release papers, could be stickers for your containers, could be a decal, it could be just some fun stickers, it could be a kit, it could be a pen, it could be washi tape, it could be a tip, it could be all kinds of things. When you fill out the form, make sure that you include your complete address. If you're in the States, I need your street address, city, state, zip code. If you are not in the States, I need your complete address to include your postal code as well so that I know where to send it. Because if you live outside the US, I basically take the address that you give me and I put it on the envelope and I mail it. So if you've left something out or you haven't put things in the right order and that causes issues, delays, and or stuff to get thrown away, I have no control over that. So make sure you're putting in all of the information as well as putting it all in correctly. Because I have lots of people who have filled out the form who only give me their street name or their street address, and 123 Main Street doesn't help me. Is that in the USA? Is that in another country? So unfortunately, I do have lots of entries where I've just had to not send anything because I don't have a complete address. So make sure you're putting in your complete address. So that being said, I am already close to have sent out 50 random acts of kindness. So I'm still working on those. So if you've signed up and you haven't got anything, don't worry. I will still send you something. I'm just slowly working my way through the list. So yeah. And finally, a little bit of good news for me. I'm super excited because I am super duper close to 2,000 subscribers, which is amazing because it seems like just last month I was at 1,000 or struggling to get to 1,000. So a huge thank you to all of you. I'm going to stop diamond painting here. So let me zoom this out so you can see what little I've done. So, a huge thank you to all of you who have liked, subscribed, commented. Please keep doing that. Everything that you do helps me grow my channel, and as I grow my channel, that helps me bring you better, more entertaining, more informative, and better content. Pretty much everything that I earn goes back into the channel. So if you'd like to support me over on Ko-fi, you can find a link for that below. You can always just follow me on social media and spread the word about my channel. That would be awesome too, and it doesn't cost you anything. I am at Diamond Painting Anonymous over on Instagram. I have a Facebook page and a Facebook group if you would like to join both of those. All of the links for those can be found below as well. And if you'd just like to donate to me to my PayPal, there is a link for that too. None of that is required, but any of it is helpful and always appreciated. Even if you just shout out, on your socials to get people to know who I am, that would be amazing. So that's where I'm at. I've almost finished this little section, so I'm pretty happy with that. And this one is a much smaller painting. It's basically a 40 by 60. So once I get done with Vibrant Italy, I'll go back to working on this and my Dreamer Designs and get that one finished because it's quite large. I think it's bigger than Vibrant Italy. And then I'll keep working through my stash, which keeps growing because I keep buying diamond paintings. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks for hanging around with me today. Thanks for listening while I blathered on about this, that, and everything. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.